we wanted to win game one. We didn't think about game two at all. In fact, originally planned, of course, you think what are the scenarios. You have to think all different scenarios within game one, and the belief that you're going to win that and go to game two, what it kind of looks like. But usually in a normal game weekend, you kind of decide for both games. On this one, we knew that is the idea for game two, but it didn't matter. We needed to win game one, do or die. So, in fact, for example, Carlos Casal was supposed to pitch in this original plan on game two, but at the end he had to come on game one. He did a fantastic job, but that meant that we didn't have any pitchers, didn't have Carlos for game two. So, to answer in summarize, it was all the focus on game one.
What kept your energy up? How did you manage to keep the team focused and still kind of believe that they can get back into the game?
You said the key word, believe. I think everybody believed that we could win this game for various reasons. And I told my pitchers and catchers yesterday that on the pre-game briefing that the game one was going to be all about offense. Whoever scored the most runs, and 9-2 was early in the game. And so I knew and believed that my players could come back, and in fact they did. So we always said game one is going to be about offense, who scored the most runs, and game two, who plays better defense, and that's how it went actually.
Now, moving on to game two, and obviously you had used many of your pitchers in game one. Were you the original game two starter, planned way in advance?
No, not at all. I mean, I've done okay this season as a kind of reliever, closer, when needed. Really, it's been an interesting transition since all Falcons fans and Herts fans know that I've not been a pitcher in the past years, and out of necessity almost I started pitching and doing all right. And because again we used Carlos, we needed to win that game one, and we used a lot of pitchers. All of a sudden, had to go with it, and did all right at the end, which is good.
Yeah. I mean, everyone can see that you've made the transition into a pitcher, which is not an easy thing. It's a very specialized position. So I don't know. Have you done any preparations? Do you have bullpen sessions, or is it just a case of, all right, the team needs me on the mound right now, I'm ready?
Well, I would like to say that of course I do bullpen sessions, and that's how you prepare to perform as a pitcher. And that's how every Hearts players and every player in this country should do it. But again, unfortunately, I don't, because I really don't expect to pitch because we want to develop better pitchers, and we have talented pitchers. But if I'm needed, I'll go up to the mound and just throw. And that's what I did.
A quick word about the players who weren't in the starting lineup.
I'll try to be brief, but I think it's a very important question. I think I've told throughout the seasons that we're strongest as our weakest link. And those guys that are not in the starting nine, they're as important as our starting nine, because they can come at any point. And today was a good example. Miguel came in the second game, and he did his job. He defended well, and he got a very important sacrifice fly for us. And then Andy came on in the first game. Tyler at the very end, he's injured, and still came here and contributed. And then we have again players that unfortunately couldn't be here today, but they will be in the finals, and they'll play a similar role. And a bit of a word that again we are in the process, we're improving. Hawks have done a tremendous job, and even the Raptors this year too, and hopefully this inspires to those that want to progress in Hearts. I mean, we're a big organization, and for example, Tom Carson is a great example. He started with the Raptors last year, and he has joined us, made a big jump, and he has done absolutely great. You know, there's still he's doing some mistakes, but that's part of the learning curve. But we hope to see more players like that within the Raptors and the Hawks. So and yes, maybe next year some of those players want to be part of the Falcons. Maybe they will be frustrated in playoffs when they don't want to play, but they're really important. Everybody is really important in that team, in the Falcons team. Um, and again, sorry, you said a very brief answers, but there's players like Zach Longboy that unfortunately had to go back to the States, but he was a key contributor this year. So there's many players that that have been contributing and doing amazing work for us at the Falcons.
Yeah.